Hey guys, welcome back. So, last time I left off, I took the printer out of the box and was getting ready to set it up. So, if you haven't seen that video, the link is in the description. But other than that, I'm about to turn it on and enjoy the video. Well, I didn't get this printer just to look at it, so let's go ahead and get it set up. I'll plug in the printer power cable and power it up. The screen lights up and greets us with the Markforged logo. After a few seconds, we see the user interface. This is a touchscreen and responds to pressure rather than capacitance, so I should be able to navigate using these gloves. Let's get it connected to the internet. That is done by hitting this icon. Now, if you decide to use Wi-Fi, select this option and it will walk you through selecting the network and entering the password. But with an Ethernet cable, I just hit Ethernet and wait until it says Seeking Eiger. And there it is. We'll talk about what this means in a moment, but for now we're done with connectivity. Looks like we have an update to apply, so I'll go ahead and tap on the blue banner. It just takes a few minutes and that's about it. All updated. Now I could load material at this point, but instead I will level the bed. Reason is, when you're setting up, it's actually a little bit quicker because bed level needs to be done while the nozzle is cool. So if I load material first, I'll actually have to wait for the nozzle to cool down. So here I have the bed. I'll place it in like this through these two notches. And just kind of go against that. And that's about it. After the bed is in place, I'll select the hamburger menu and go to bed level. Then tap shim bed level. When you do that, it will remind you not to put your hand on the bed because springs are holding it up. And doing so will mess up the bed level. Makes sense. It then asks for the shims, which I will oblige it. It's pretty nice because it walks you through every process. It then asks for me to lower the thumb screws to the lowest position, which I will do visually. I will then slide the plastic shim underneath the plastic nozzle and tighten the thumb screw until it's pinned between the print bed and the nozzle. If you tighten the screw all the way and it still doesn't reach, a Z-level offset calibration may be needed. Looks like this reaches just fine, so I won't have to perform that. I want to tighten the thumb screw just enough such that I can slide the shim back and forth without it buckling. After the tension is satisfactory, I can hit next and it will move me to the next location. Rinse and repeat the leveling procedure for the two thumb screws and once more for the starting position and we are done. Now, this method may seem a little archaic, especially for a printer of this price point, but I'm willing to let it slide if it works and it is consistent. And besides, that's just for the ballpark bed level. The test print is coming up, which will guarantee it 100%. But before I can do a test print, I need plastic. So let's go ahead and load some in. Consulting the hamburger menu again, hit material, and then load plastic. It will ask if you want a quick load or meter load. Quick load means you just want to load the material and that's it. Meter load means you load the material and the printer will keep track of the material it has left. This printer can detect when it's out of material and pause the print so you can actually load more, so you won't lose the prints if you run out of material. I'll go through with meter load and tell it that I have a full spool of Onyx. Once it starts heating up, I'll turn my attention to the dry box. I'll place my dry box next to the printer with the nozzle facing the back. I'll then connect the plastic tube to the back of the dry box, then feed the other side through the hole with the grommet and have it connect to the extruder. I'll rip this bubble wrap from the package that holds the material so I can more easily inspect it for tears. Remember, this material is moisture sensitive, so any holes in the package could be compromising. I don't see any here. I will wait to make sure that my printer has heated up fully before opening the package and that I have my cable cutters and spool within reach. Once all of that is complete, I'll feel around for the desiccant packs in the package before cutting the material open. I wouldn't want to cut into the desiccant packs by accident because I need them for later. I'll cut open the package and once this happens, I have 15 minutes to get the material loaded. Certainly, I don't have to rush or anything like that, but don't leave a spool lying on the table while you go get coffee. While the material is still tightly wound, I'll insert the spool. Now I'll unthread the end of the filament and cut the end at a 45-degree angle. This allows it to go easier through the extruder. Now I'll throw the desiccant packs in and place the material in the dry box. Like a roll of toilet paper, it goes over. Manually feed it through the tube until it just reaches the extruder, just a little bit before. Hit next on the screen and you will hear the extruder start turning. Feed the last inch of material until the extruder grabs it. Now we wait until the end reaches the print head and starts extruding out and starts clicking. Once this occurs, we can hit done on the screen. And that's all for loading plastic.
And now for the fiber. There's no time constraints to work with fiber as there is no moisture sensitivity. To make fiber loading easier, it may help to have a bit of Scotch tape handy. Or you can use the one that it comes with.
I'll open the pack of fiber and notice that the fiber is held on with 2 pieces of tape. I'll take the first one here and save it on my finger. Now I'm going to hold the end of this fiber tightly and take out the other piece of tape. And I'll gently unspool about 12 inches of fiber. Once I have it like that, I'll put the tape back on the fiber. Now it's a lot easier to handle this when loading into the machine. I'll take out this magnetic cap from the spool in the back of the printer and place the spool in with the fiber going clockwise. Once this is done, I can remove the tape and not have to worry about my fiber unspooling. The most important thing is to prevent the fiber from unspooling too much. Since it's so fine, it's never quite the same when trying to respool it. Now go to Menu, Materials, Load Fiber, and keep hitting Next until you hear the extruder whirring. There's no heating required to load fiber. I'll keep pushing the fiber until the extruder catches it, wait for the fiber to reach the end, and hit Cut. Now that's done too.
Since we have the material loaded, we can now print a test print to make sure the bed is really level.
Let's get the bed all glued up. It's pretty satisfying to apply the glue. After that's done, I'll go to Menu, Utilities, Test Prints, Bed Level Test Print. This only takes a few minutes and prints a 1-layer high disc at 4 locations. We then assess the quality of these discs to determine if an infinitesimal adjustment is needed on any of the screws. If the gap is too wide, they'll look like this. If the gap is too small, they'll look like this. Or this if it's very extreme. And if they look just right, they'll look like this. These ones look great. The line that goes across them is normal.
Let's talk about the fiber nozzle. Since the print head is one piece, and we know that the nozzle is parallel to the bed, just like the plastic nozzle, the thing that we're adjusting here is the offset of the fiber nozzle with respect to the plastic nozzle.
To get it in the ballpark, I'll initiate another shim bed level. Skip through the plastic nozzle steps, since we already have that done, and then do the fiber nozzle level, which is the same method as a plastic essentially, just pinning the fiber shim against the fiber nozzle. You adjust the height by turning a socket head cap screw with an Allen wrench. It's this one here that sticks above the rest. Turn it tighter to clamp down on the shim tighter, and loosen the screw to pull the nozzle up. The amount of pressure should be the same as before, just enough so you can slide the shim without it buckling. Again, this is a ballpark method. I'll get it to 100% right now.
In order to accomplish that, we will print what's called the staircase.
As the name implies, a staircase is printed with each step being 1 layer higher than the other. What the printer then does is swipe the fiber nozzle across the stairs, colliding with some of the steps. This will leave a mark on some of the steps and will let you know if your fiber nozzle is too low or too high. Ideally, we only want to see marks on the steps labeled 1 and 2 and a little mark on 0. If you're not sure about your initial placement, use the Allen wrench to raise the nozzle a little bit. It's better to err on the side of being too high because then you can reuse those strips. Remember, if you collide with steps that are too low, there's no way to uncollide them, so that strip is useless.
Now that's a good looking staircase. And just like that, the printer's all set up.
Alright, let's get this printer registered on Eiger. Eiger is a cloud-based platform for managing the printer. Now, I'm not going to go over the full functionality of Eiger because this video is already getting long enough, but I will go over how to at least get the printer registered and printing something. Basically, I'm just going to follow the instructions on the card here. So it directs me to eiger.io/register, and it brings me to this page. So now I'll just go ahead and enter my email, my name, my organization name, my phone number, and a password for this particular account. And just hit sign up. Now it's going to shoot me an email, and I'll verify that in a second, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've verified my email address, so I'll go ahead and continue here. Terms of service, I'm just going to scroll all the way down. Reading, agree. So now we can register our printer from here. I can go ahead and give it a name. So this can be changed, but I'm just going to go with a generic Onyx Pro. If you have any clever ideas for a name for this printer, let me know in the comments below. The device ID is on the card, so I'll go ahead and type that in. Okay, looks like I can activate the warranty if I want to, but I'll do that later. At this point, if we go up here, it says my Onyx Pro is offline. And that's because I powered on the printer before registering it. All you have to do is just power cycle the printer, so I'll be right back. Alright, I power cycled the printer and it looks like it's online. So actually, let's take a look at that. I'll show you this just to check it out. We can see that we can manage the printer from here. So we can start prints, stop prints, and do other stuff like preheat the nozzles, download logs, and things of that nature. So if we go to library, it actually gave me, here, we'll get rid of that. Gave me a large number of parts just to start off with. So let's actually check out the keychain. Alright, so that's okay, I don't need a tutorial. So you can import STLs and you'll get to this interface. You can see they give you an estimation for how much this costs, what the print time will be, etc. And we can go ahead and change the settings. So I don't have carbon fiber, but I do have fiberglass. So I'll do that. So part settings, I can say, alright, I might want to use a brim, scale 1, just like that. Alright, we'll have a triangular fill, looks pretty good. And alright, so it's going to put 30 layers of fiber, which is a little much for just for a little sample that we're doing here, but I'll show you a cool feature that we can really control how much fiber I put into this part. So it's churning, and again, get out of that. Alright, so costs updated, but let's say that I don't want to have that much fiber in. I'm going to go to this internal view. And here you can see all the layers that have fiber. So this yellow block here is, well, all the layers that have fiber. If I go to the 2D view, I can actually see the toolpath layer by layer. So you can see it's just stuffing it with as much fiber as possible. So, yep, and that's the Markforged logo. Yeah, I don't know about having all of this fiber, so I'm actually going to select that group and say don't use any fiber. Alright, but I don't want to make this too boring, so I will put one fiber layer. I'm just going to select this small range here. Actually I can just use fiber right here. Okay, concentric. And I'm just going to put one fiber ring, just a little. Yeah, I know, it's just one strand of fiber in there, but I want to save it for the good stuff, so I want to be sparing when I try it out here. But you can see my cost updated. So this thing costs 78 cents. I'll hit save. And then print, which you think would send it to the printer, but it's more like assemble print. So it's here that we can, hit add part and get many copies of whatever part we want. But I just want one of these, so I'll do that. And maybe I'll move this a little bit here. Well, let me move it a little bit down, because I think there's some glue left over in that area, so I'll leave it there. And let's hit print. And now it gives me the option to add it to the queue or to print right now. So if I hit print now, it's actually going to start the printer, but I'm just going to hit add to queue so I can actually get over there and watch the fun. This build is in the queue and it's ready to go. So let's go launch it. All right, now we have the print in the queue. So let's go ahead and actually launch it. So I'm just going to go hamburger menu, print queue, and actually you see a little preview here. So I'll go ahead and hit print. All right, enjoy the show. The printer starts moving and gets to work. The first thing that it prints is what's called the purge strip. This ensures that the printer is using dry material, purging any wet material that is near the opening on the print head. This can be skipped if you want, but Markforged recommends that you let this go for optimal print quality. After that, the printing starts. See here, it's laying down some fiberglass. And it's done. Alright, so it looks like our first print is finished. So, let's see what it takes to get it off. Quick look here, so you can see here's the purge strip, purge tower, which only appears if a part has fiber in it. Here's our little keychain. So let's see what it takes to get it off. So, even though this is not a heated bed or anything like that, the Markforged printer doesn't really need it. Adhesion is never really a problem. It's actually quite the opposite, actually. So, in order to get this off, I'll just kind of put this down here like this. Take my scraper. See if I can dig up that corner a little bit. Might take a few tries to get under there. Oh, there it goes. And there we have it. Markforged. Can take off this brim here. Alright, so it's a little springy, but definitely doesn't feel like regular plastic. Even that one strand I think is helping it a lot. This is awesome. So my first impressions are as follows. I am blown away with the build quality on literally everything on this printer. It seems that no corners were cut at all, and it's also a very beautiful machine as well. Setting up the printer was not too difficult. There's not too much going on in a printer like this. It's just loading the material and leveling it, and then you're ready to go.
Although I will mention that there are some processes such as bed leveling that really should be automatic for a printer of this price range, but I'll let it go because they've come up with a relatively easy and consistent way of leveling the bed, as opposed to the crapshoot that you get with some other printers. The kinematic coupling that comes with the bed is one of my favorite features of the printer and makes it easy to remove prints and add hardware. Other than that, it was just getting it registered on the Eiger platform, which comes at no additional cost. Registration was painless, and the software is easy and super convenient because if you're connected to the internet and your printer's connected to the internet, then you can monitor it from anywhere. And the printer doesn't even have to be on the same network. Prepping for a print is also pretty easy. Other than leveling the bed, you just need a liberal coat of Elmer's glue on the bed. And of course, my keychain came out with pretty great quality, although I will let you know how that evolves over the lifespan of this printer.
Other than that, that's about it. I hope you found this video informative. If you like videos like this in addition to solid modeling videos, please consider subscribing. And let me know if you like this video by, well, liking the video. Also, let me know in a comment down below what I should print with this printer. But other than that, that's it from the SOLIDWORKS Nerd. You have a good day.